This week, we've got Demetrius Summerville, who's joining us for the community update. He's with Lyft Orlando. What's your title now, Demetrius? You're Director of Operations. You're doing something new or bigger every time I see you. But with that, I wanted to bring you up now, Demetrius, the big project that you've got going on at the moment, if you've driven past up Tampa Avenue, headed this way toward the stadium, is the heart of West Lakes, which I think this is a little time-lapse video that's like 30 seconds that we might be able to play. I don't know if the sound will work, but it's every time I drive past this building on the way to the stadium, I'm amazed at how much closer it looks to being done. Can you just, for those who don't know, what is Heart of West Lakes and why are you and Lyft Orlando helping, make this project come out of the ground?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I work with Lyft Orlando, and our mission is to strengthen neighborhoods so people can thrive. And we do so focusing on 4 pillars: housing, health and wellness, education, and economic vitality or viability. And health and wellness is a critical component to the thriving of our neighbors thriving in the West Lakes community. And so here we partnered with Truist Bank, Florida Blue, Orlando Health, Advent Health to build this 30,000 square foot health and wellness center. So it's going to be the mission of the building is for people to connect, learn, and thrive. So there's going to be a lot of connecting with neighbors, learning and thriving with healthcare. Essential community health centers will be the operating medical clinic on site. So they'll operate 8,000 square feet of space. So that's an affordable healthcare option for our residents. There'll also be Florida Blue will have a location downstairs on the first floor so that neighbors can get access to affordable healthcare options for them and their families. And there's so much more I can say, but I don't want to hog up the time. But it's going to be a great place for neighbors to connect, learn, and thrive. And it'll also have an event space similar to this so that we can have neighborhood events throughout the year.
Now, I think one of the things people maybe don't realize is how access to healthcare is such a big factor for people who might not have it. And one of the things that's always stood out to me since I've started here, it's been several years now, is that the healthcare access points in West Lakes compared to the 32879 Winter Park zip code.
Sure.
I remember it was 12 to 112 or something,
Right.
for the same size, same number of people, just far fewer places to see a specialist or see your primary care doctor, whatever.
Exactly.
Can you speak to kind of how the access to healthcare really makes a huge difference, especially in a community like West Lakes?
Yes. For our community, a lot of people who don't have access in their neighborhood to healthcare, if they have a health event, they usually go into the emergency room, for example, at Orlando Health or Advent. And so they have to drive out of the community a couple of miles, 3-4 miles to get to a healthcare provider. And then if they're, have kids who need access to healthcare, it's just an inconvenience a lot of times for our families. And so we wanted to make this healthcare a convenient location for our families in the community. And also it can help our partners at Advent and Orlando Health drive down their costs by having healthcare right in the community.
I know you broke ground middle of last year. When are you expecting the doors to open at this place?
Yeah, so this is back in March. And so fast forward to today, we should have a certificate of occupancy in December, end of December, right before the new year. And yeah, we're excited about it. We're going to have a grand opening in February. So mark your calendars, February 10th.
And I know we talked a couple weeks ago about how we were for Pepsi's Dig In Week. We were working with some Black-owned businesses to bring lunch in here for the office during Classic Week. And one of the ones we had last week was from Legacy Cafe, which I know is the food and beverage provider, I guess, for the heart. Or tell me more about what they are, and because it was a delicious brisket sandwich that I had the other day.
So Legacy Cafe is a Black-owned restaurant that's going to be operating inside the heart, serving food that's good for you and good to you. And it's going to be we're going to be they're going to be also our caterer as well for the event space. So Legacy Cafe, Carl Brown, who runs Oli's Barbecue, partnered with a guy named Charles Simmons, and they are the partners who are operating Legacy Cafe. That'll be so people that go to their doctor, they can get their meds at CHC. They can go downstairs, get a cup of coffee. There'll be Starbucks there, get something to eat, and then go back upstairs, get their meds. and head home. So
And even the I know, they've been doing these staff walking tours recently throughout the past couple of months for some of our staff that we've gotten to see, not just Heart of Westlakes, but all the entire Lift Orlando footprint. And we got to do a hard hat tour. Demetrius was nice
Yes.
enough to walk us through, and it really is an impressive facility. And it's got to just, for you, when you're standing in it or you're watching it develop day over day, it's got to feel like almost like a proud dad looking at the building coming out of the ground.
very much so, very much so. This has been a long time coming. We started this project in 2017. And now it's 2022, and it's going to be opening, first of 2023. So it's been a long time coming, and it's a beautiful place, first-class facility that our neighbors are going to be proud to call their home. We want the Heart of Westlakes to be like the living room for our neighbors in the Westlakes community. And we're really excited about this facility, and we're excited for our neighbors to make it like their living room.
And this is a place that is not, you don't have to be a Westlakes resident to use Heart of Westlakes. You don't have to live here to eat lunch at Legacy Cafe. So this is something that we can check out once it's open.
Definitely. You can have you can come get breakfast on your way into the office downtown, and you can also maybe, host an event if you have a small meeting that you want to have with, 15, 20 people. We will have an event space that's going to be up and running mid next year. So it's going to be, and then if you want to just come and just check out the place, we'd love to host you, give you a tour, and talk about not just the Heart of Westlakes, but also the work that Lift Orlando has done, strengthening our community so that people can thrive.
Well, we really appreciate you being here, but I wasn't going to let you show up and leave without talking football too.
Oh.
Wait, this is our time lapse. Here we go. The button does work this week. That's because there we go. It's only 30 seconds long. So we'll do. Anyway, there's paint on the building now. There's a roof on the building now.
Yes,
but that's a little
doors
taste.
and windows. Yeah, that stopped, I think, in midsummer. So,
So, any case, now we're going to talk football though, because Demetrius also played football. You can see he's from Birmingham. You played at Troy State for a couple of years. Tell us about your time playing at Troy and just what your memories are playing. Who's that guy?
Man, that guy is an All-American. Scout team All-American.
Yep.
Yeah, I was a walk-on at Troy for 2 years, and my goal was to earn a scholarship. And I was always too small and too slow to make the bus trips. And then we moved up to Division 1A in 2001, opening with Nebraska, playing Mississippi State, and I ended up just transitioning to work on the video staff as video coordinator for 3 years. That paid my way through school.
Well, you have a pretty good excuse though for not seeing the field as much as you wanted, because you also played there at the same time as these two, which is not. I mean, what are you going to do, Demetrius?
I mean, I just got to take a back seat to these guys. I mean, you had on one end DeMarcus Ware, came into Troy 6'4", 185. Coaches said, "Trust us, we'll get you up to 250. Keep your speed down at 4'4", and you'll be a top 10 draft pick," in which he was. And then on the other side, you had O.C. Umenyiora. O.C. was equally just as gifted and had great foot speed. He played soccer all through high school and ended up getting a scholarship opportunity to play at Troy. And, he went on to play for the New York Giants and won a couple of Super Bowls. And man, O.C. is a phenomenal player. He's working with the NFL right now in Europe. So we're helping to bring games over to Europe.
And whether you're in the film room watching film with them or cutting the film for them, there's got to be a lot you can learn from playing with guys like that.
Oh my gosh, man, these guys are just really gifted. They're really smart. And so they study film all the time. Like, these guys didn't go out partying. They study film. And man, it was just a joy to watch those two beasts get after quarterbacks and have sack parties, is what they call them.
Normally, I'm going to let you go, and because normally we move on to something called Hog Time now. And we're going to still do that. We're still going to do that because you, sir, Troy has played Arkansas before.
Yes, we
And
played.
you were a part of video coordinator crew for that team.
Yep.
How'd it go?
Well, it was a cold November day in Little Rock, and Darren McFadden ran all over us. I mean, I think the score was 26-0.
23-0.
23-0.
Yeah.
And man, we were in Little Rock and it was frigid that day. And we just couldn't, our offense couldn't get going, and our defense just couldn't stop those running backs. Darren McFadden and I can't remember the other scat back, Felix Jones. Yep.
And as we learned last week, Irvin, when it's cold in Arkansas, it's very difficult to play there. And it's apparently always cold in Arkansas.
Yes, it is,
Okay.
especially in November.
Especially in November. So this week, you're just going to do the whole Hog Time segment this week.
Let's do it.
This week, though, good week for the Hogs. I think that they responded to, yep, John's excited. They responded to not being scouted by the Citrus Bowl anymore by just pounding the team that's in 8 of our 9 Citrus Bowl projections right now. So anyway, great game for the Hogs. Not as great a game for Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, but we'll see how this impacts the bowl projections and so on and so forth. I don't think it's going to bring Arkansas here this year, unfortunately, but anything else? How do you feel about Arkansas?
Man, I think Arkansas, if they can get their passing game going, they'll be a hard team to stop. But I like Arkansas a lot going into the season.